Welcome to ZTN NewsBlitz. Let's take a look at our top stories. Public exams to proceed, but teachers, parents say no. Serious water shortages shake Zimbabwe cities. In showbiz, China lights up Zimbabwe. Will Inter Milan stop Sevilla in the Europa final? The Zimbabwe government says November public examinations will proceed despite learners having gone to school for only one term in 2020. The first school term was cut short after Zimbabwe recorded its first COVID-19 death. Consequently, June examinations went ahead under strict conditions. Primary and Secondary Education Minister Ambassador Kane Matema spoke to ZTN.
We have always been ready, Madam. Even we have been ready for the schools to be open. We were ready for the schools to be opened, but because of the circumstances, the COVID cabinet president decided we shouldn't open up, and this thing is still phased. It's still part of our phased way of allowing children to go to school. It's only exams, those who sit for exams, that we are opening for.
However, teachers and parents are having none of it.
We are very disappointed that cabinet sitting on their own just made a declaration that schools exams will start in November. The thing that we see that they miss is a simple one, that the kids we are talking about did not learn from March. The other modes of learning, which are namely e-learning, online learning, learning on social media platforms, radio lessons as well as television lessons, benefited or benefit very few individuals. Because many of the people we are talking about don't even have money for a bundle of vegetables. Yet you want them to have money for bundles to acquire data. It is quite sad that our own politicians are just failing to read from the text.
These learners have not had an opportunity to revise and prepare for the examinations. Neither are the teachers themselves prepared to get these learners into the examination mode. So it is an unfortunate announcement, and it is coming prematurely. What the government should be doing now is to prepare the learners to open schools and open for writing examinations maybe in 2021. It will not be possible that we get these learners ready in 2020.
And parents say it is unfair on the students. Evaristo Jongwe, Secretary General of the Schools Development Associations and Committees, speaks.
Our major challenge is that the majority of children do not have access to the internet, and most of those parents can't afford the cost of internet. Mostly children of parents in the middle class urban schools, farm schools, rural schools, and peri-urban schools are not able to do research because of the cost involved. Hence, e-learning is not feasible to those underprivileged children. So the writing of exams will not be fair to those children.
Some of Zimbabwe's major cities are facing serious water shortages as supply dams are running low. The worst hit are the second largest city, Bulawayo and Gweru, which have both introduced rationing. Let's hear from Bulawayo City Council spokesperson, Nesisa Mpofu.
So what we have done as a city is to have a shedding program which basically tries to stretch the water until the next rain season. And in this shedding program, we now have water supplied 1 day a week or 144-hour shedding. That 1 day a week is then split into two 12-hour intervals. The truth is that there's nothing council can do. We are waiting for the water interventions that the government is going to give us, largely through the Zimbabwe National Water Authority, because they are the custodians of raw water.
And Gweru's rationing program is expected to last until next runoff. The city's main supply dam, Gwenoro, is at 15% capacity.
Our water rationing schedule is going to be more strict because we're pumping at 37 megalitres per day against a projected supply of 50 megalitres per day. This is because our dam levels are very low. Amapongwakwe is recording 35% and Gwenoro is recording 15%. As of the 19th of August. So we're going to ensure that we have a strict water rationing schedule. We are also appealing with our valued residents that they should not use hose pipes so that they can use water sparingly because our dam levels are very low. Most of the high-lying areas will be affected in Gweru, such as Mukoba 1, Haben Park, and most parts of Mukoba will be affected. We hope that this will last up until the next rainy season, when we get rains in our dams.
Transform Zimbabwe leader Jacob Ngarivume's bid for freedom hit a snag this morning after Harare court turned down his fresh bail application. Ngarivume and journalist and activist Hopewell Chingono are facing charges of inciting public violence after calling for anti-government protests last month. Our correspondent Patience Namburo gives us more.
Harare Magistrate Trino Sutawashi said Jacob Ngarivume remains a threat to the public if released on bail. He said this while dismissing the fresh bail application from Ngarivume. The Transform Zimbabwe leader was arrested for inciting public violence after calling for an anti-government protest on the 31st of July. His lawyers were now arguing that circumstances to his case have changed, the date has come and passed, and he is no longer a threat to the public. However, the state countered that argument and the magistrate ruled in favor of the state. We spoke to his lawyer, Mr. Nkomo.
We have just come out of court and Jacob has once again been denied bail, even on changed circumstances. The reason that was given for the denial of bail was that there has not been sufficient change of circumstances. The court acknowledged that the 31st came and went without any incident, but it then said that what was proposed as a 31st July demonstration has become a movement, despite the fact that there was no evidence at all that was produced before the court. The court further said that Jacob Ngarivume is the founder of the 31st July movement. We are actually hearing that for the first time from the court. We are very disappointed with the outcome, but we are not in any way discouraged. We will be appealing against that judgment to the High Court.
Is there a difference between African religion and tradition? Well, according to renowned preacher Apostle Batsirai Java, there is a big difference. In his recently published book, African Religion, A Blessing or a Curse, Apostle Java brings to the fore just how the two vary, claiming African religion is a cult. Our reporter Takuchi Hambakwe spoke to the preacher.
For 6 months, Apostle Batsirai Jawa took time to research and write a book on one rarely talked about subject in society, the difference between African religion and tradition. Apostle Jawa says the book was an assignment he got from God to help Christians understand how they should conduct themselves.
That was the main challenge, and that's what then made me to take so much time, and some of the information I would get from Mashikiro and other traditional leaders I went to interview. I had to call several universities, I had to contact as far as Yemen in order to confirm the facts they were giving.
He added that he faced some challenges gathering material as most of the information from the African side was never recorded anyway.
Many Christians, they cannot separate the two, tradition and religion. African tradition is our norms, our values, our moral compass. African religion is a faith, is a worship, is a direct confrontation to Christianity.
Interestingly, the book, which is now available for purchase online, quotes the last known Buyanehanda, stating that African religion was not something that originated from Africa. The book further states that traditional practices such as Kuruoma Kua are not part of the authentic African tradition.
The last Buyanehanda, who was living in a body of a woman called Mazuone, who died in 1975 in Zambia at the age of 105, she confirmed under trance that I came from Mesopotamia, Middle East. And I confirmed it through Middle East when the 5 Bantu families were released from Middle East and migrated down to Africa.
The much-anticipated movie Shaina is set to premiere tonight. The feature film touches on critical health issues facing adolescent girls and young women in Zimbabwe. USAID, who funded the production, are targeting over 1 million Zimbabweans with life-saving health messages. Taku Chambakwe spoke with USAID Zimbabwe Director Art Brown.
The arts industry has not been spared the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The virus has upended the global film industry, halting production and closing cinemas. But amidst all this gloom, Zimbabweans have something to smile about. A silver lining is shining, a feature film aptly titled Shiner. The movie, which premieres tonight, features some of the country's acclaimed actors. These include Jesesi Mungoshi, Leroy Gopal, Patricia Maviko, Marion Kunonga, and Shemaine Mujeri, to mention just a few. USAID Zimbabwe director Art Brown says the film aims to empower the girl child.
This film is fantastic. It is filled with multiple messages about empowerment and how young people should respond, about making the choices of today that could affect their lives in the future.
Shiner tells an evocative story of a group of friends who encounter life-changing obstacles that mirror the day-to-day challenges faced by many adolescent girls and young women in Zimbabwe. Wilma Munemera plays the lead character, Shiner. When Shiner's guardian dies, a series of life-altering events are set in motion that force her to find strength to secure her future. Brown said apart from the powerful messages, the movie also offers great entertainment value.
Shiner's compelling storyline, it entertains, and it also provides helpful tools and information related to the most critical health issues facing adolescent girls and young women in Zimbabwe. I encourage everyone to go out and see Shiner.
The movie was written by Wanisai Chigwendere and directed by Beauty Mashauri. It is set to premiere on ZBC TV just an hour before the curfew kicks in. Takuchi Mbakwe for ZTN News.
A fake psychiatrist who worked for the UK's National Health Services for 22 years despite allegedly not having any qualifications has been charged with 13 fraud offences. Shulia Lemi, 57, formerly from High Harrington, was charged with the fraud offences following an investigation by detectives in the area's crime and safeguarding team. Today, Cumbria Constabulary confirmed the former NHS worker had been charged with 2 counts of making a false instrument with intent it be accepted as genuine. She has also been charged with 8 counts of fraud by false representation and 3 counts of obtaining a pecuniary advantage. Moving on, singing is not riskier than speaking when it comes to the possibility of spreading the new coronavirus, British scientists said on Thursday, adding that volume is the most important risk factor. Last week, the British government changed its guidance to allow professionals and non-professionals to resume singing rehearsals and performance, bringing the required social distancing into line with usual COVID-19 rules and removing the need for extra mitigations. That decision was informed by a study by scientists based at the University of Bristol, who examined the amount of aerosols and droplets generated by 25 professional singers who did singing, speaking, breathing and coughing exercises. The researchers found that the aerosol mass produced rose steeply with an increase in volume of singing or speaking by as much as 20 to 30 times. In sport, Zimbabwe rugby player Lindiwe Munerenyu speaks about the importance of grassroots programs. Her sentiments come at a time when there is a feeling that women are not given enough support in that sport.
To solve this, we need to start rugby at grassroots level. We're talking about our primary schools. How we do this is that we introduce this and we give it the same attention as we give tennis, hockey, swimming. We introduce it countrywide. We introduce it to Teachers College, where the teachers are taught and equipped on how to do rugby. Because when they are then assigned to different schools, they can then go and equip other children. That is how we can solve this situation. Because rugby is an amazing sport, and I wish so many other children would know about it. The women, it would really help them.
Inter Milan manager Antonio Conte says he sees the glass as half full after their Champions League group stage elimination paved way for today's Europa League final. Conte's Inter face 5-time winners Sevilla as they seek to win a first trophy in 9 years. It's been a positive season. We've done important things and have made major improvements, Conte was quoted as saying by the BBC. It's been a bit cold in most parts of Zimbabwe over the past 2 days, and some people are keeping themselves warm in the strangest of ways. Our correspondent Themba Dube captured a man from Bulawayo bizarrely warding off the chilly temperatures. Can you imagine an air-conditioned donkey-drawn cart in Ngola? Yes, the man carried a brazier, commonly known as Mbaura or Imbaula, on his donkey-drawn cart as he drove along the streets of Nkulumane suburb. And on that innovative note, happy viewing and have a pleasant weekend.